Let me get myself situated here. Appreciate you joining me. First, let's give this a little context. Um, I left the house and checked the temperature before I came out, and it said, "Oh, 38 degrees." And I was like, "Oh, no problem." And then I got out here and realized that I should have dug into a little bit more information. Yeah, it's probably about 37, 38 degrees as far as temperature goes. It is a damp 70% humidity. So uh, it's got that thick bite to it. Then it also is blowing at about 15 miles an hour. So it's a windy and there's no sun today, cloudy. So according to the app now, when I double checked, it says feels like it's 25, and I would definitely get on board with that. It's the coldest 38 degrees I think I've ever felt. With that being said, though, we're still here. You know, um, today I'm in Pinehurst, as you can tell, and if you haven't, just quickly, we'll take a quick tour. Folks are out here walking their dogs, you know, just doing some casual things. And, that's part of the reason that I always look at it going, if a 75-year-old woman can come up and walk her dog, I can definitely get out for a little while to practice my kung fu. Um, I have put on today the idea, concept that kind of came along to me as I was going through phases of the mind and body training that Sifu Chin would teach us. Everything will kind of go through phases. Uh, and one of them, I initially I used to refer to it as my wrestling match. So it was basically me, my heart, my mind getting in there and wrestling things out. What should I be doing? What could I be doing? All these sorts of things. But later, instead of a wrestling match, it became a sifting, and by sifting, I mean, like when you see the old movies and the panhandler or the gold miners are sitting there sifting there for gold. And one day I was watching one of my favorite all-time movies was Clint Eastwood, Pale Rider. And in that movie, of course, he's protecting some of the gold miners there who just live off the land as the big companies come in through the Sacramento gold rush days, which I actually mentioned in a recent podcast with Sue Marsick. Uh, he was part of that Sacramento gold rush time when he was staking a piece of land for himself, and the companies would come in and run people out. But through that process, we're going to go through what I started to experience and wanted to experience during my meditation. And if you're practicing, no matter what, always give yourself that one uh, pat on the back, at a boy, at a girl, that you practiced today. It makes it a good day already. Instead of stacking up all these requirements in order to make it a good day, it is already a good day. Okay. So we're going to start with just a couple of double spirals to loosen up my shoulders and elbows and wrists. So I just want you to roll it around a little bit. Breathe nice and full. Fill up your body. And it's even okay to smile a little bit. Ooh. Ah, sorry about that. The, oh, the crickety crack of my old back. All right. 5 is enough of those. I can always tell because my fingers go numb. Right. So from here, we're gonna do the little boy pray. So let's just bring the feet together, hands together, reach it up, fold the hands to the back, drop the chin down toward the toes, and then roll your back down, bone by bone. Oh, mm-hmm. Mm. Unfold your hands toward the wintry grass. I'm gonna rotate my palms a little bit to outside one foot. Doesn't matter which. Then we'll rotate to the other side. Oh, yeah. Back to the front. Now roll your back up a little bit to where your hands are just above your knees. Spread out your feet. Lift up your face slowly. We're going to sway the hips, turn the head. And when you turn the head, drop that backside shoulder. Ideally, what you're trying to do is open up that kidney area here on the back side. So whenever you breathe in, just imagine that area expands a little bit. And as you exhale, just let it relax. Two more times. Good. Taking a breath. As you exhale, come back to neutral. Fix yourself up a little bit. Yeah. Now we're going to go the other way. Taking a breath. Exhale, turn. Ooh, yeah. Open up that backside kidney for 3 breaths. Taking a breath. Exhale, come back to neutral. Good. Roll it back up, all the way up. Hmm. All right. Let's go through the more formal way of getting ourselves ready to for meditation. This is exactly how Sifu would teach us in the beginning, and then he would tell you, you decide at some point how much of this you want to do. Because once your body gets accustomed to it, some people will do better with the formality of a full routine. Sometimes, for me, for example, it was to know where I was supposed to be and get there. But occasionally, it's always good to go back and go through some of those formalities. Um, Step by step, I should say. All right, feet together, and then take your heel, put it up against the ball of that foot, turn it out as much as you can, then lift up to your big toe and spin it out. That will put your feet directly underneath your armpits and your shoulders. Okay. When they say shoulder width, what happens is a little bit of a mistake. Usually, if you read like shoulder width, they weren't referring to the width of the outside of my shoulders. It was the width under my shoulders. Okay. And then if you took it one footprint further, that is usually the width outside of your shoulders. But for right here, this is where we generally start as a good base. And of course, ideally, your toes are pointing straight ahead, your knees are pointed in the same line, your belly button is pointing directly down the middle of that line, and so is your nose. That is your uh, most ideal way of getting set up. I'm out here in the bare grass. If you're on the floor, there's a few things that you don't have to concern yourself with. But if you're outside and the ground is uneven, if the ground was tilted, let's say going across my body, and I was tilted to the side a little bit, I would want to turn myself so that I was pointing down the heel, and that way my weight would sit a little further my ankles. It's a little better. It's a much better, to be honest with you, to be pointing down the heel just ever so slightly if you can't find a level ground. Of course, this ground here is pretty level, so I don't have to worry about that too much. But there are places I post, and some of the students will post that you want to be aware of the terrain just as well. Once I'm directly underneath my shoulders here, and I'm trying to stay here, if you need to adjust it, do so. As I said before, one toe print out. If you need to, um, uh, spread out, turn the toe out slightly if you need to, um, but try to start straight and let your body tell you what you need. From here, the middle finger, put your hands on the outside of your thigh and then slide your hands up to where your middle finger is just below the indentation here on your buttocks, that little indentation at the bottom of it, okay? And when you do that, you notice there's this natural flare underneath your arms. That's such a good place to start. If you don't know what to do, you could just stay right here. Just a good steady breath. That cool wind is coming across my face. And ideally here, I just want to feel my body open up. Fluffy is the word I used to use. Sifu used to used to say, just imagine for a moment that you're as light and as fluffy as the Michelin Man, right? You have to go back to your commercial Rolodex to find that one, but that you're just big and fluffy. From here, we'll take about 7 breaths just to sway. So I want you to breathe in and just sway back towards your heels. Exhale, sway back toward the balls of your feet. Good. 6 more times. I'll let you know when I'm finished. One more time. Good. Find your way back to the middle. And if you need to at this point, adjust your feet. I'm going to spread mine out just a touch, about a half a footprint. But from there, again, just try to make sure my knees are pointing in the same direction as my feet. I'm going to let my hands float to in front of my lower abdomen. And many times in visualizations, we will point to what you might think of as a scene, like a painting. But occasionally, I want you to think about things as a scene, like a film clip. Panning for life's gold. First thing is you're finding your place here in your quietness. Remind yourself that panning is an active act. It is an observant act, and it is an intentional act. Though the outside of my body may be still, those of you who practice know that the inside is very active. And just like Clint Eastwood says in that movie, Pale Rider, a soul ain't worth a spit if it can't sweat. You got to put some sweat equity into it. When I'm sifting and panning, there's so many components, but not too many that I can't account for them all. First, the river itself. Just like the day and the week flows, the river flows. It brings with it flecks of gold, nuggets of gold. Most of the time, those get hidden underneath the rocks in the river, buried in the silt and mud, and I can't see them. The mud itself and the silt is the majority of what the river and the day may bring. The mundane, the, let's say, chaos, and as well as conflict or challenges that come through the course of the day. Sometimes it's blinding, but the river also provides the water to which it is made to help us pan through the day, to wash away the mundane, the trivial. You almost feel myself just kind of rocking my hands. In fact, that's exactly what I used to do to help me get into my mindset. I'd rock my body a little bit as if I was moving the mud and the silt through my basket. Remind yourself, though, what separates the mud and the silt from the gold and the nuggets. In the old pan, it was filters, little steel filters, and you would shake and rock and move the mud through it as the water would wash over it so that the gold would fall and you could see it gather inside the corner of your pan. But what is your filter? I became very aware that there's a few things that your filter must have. Consistency. When you're filtering out the chaos and the mundane, you need to be consistent or it will just build up so fast that you'll never find the gold. Your filter has to have accountability and it has to have standards. The standards are what keep some things out and allow others to pass through. So if you're consistent and accountable to filtering with your standards, you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. And what is the gold that you're looking for? As we said, uh, panning for life's gold is observant, is active, and it's intentional. What is your intent? What are you hoping to find? What are you hoping to see? Many of us will measure our success panning by the nuggets, the big chunks, the eureka moments, the epiphanies that we think we're supposed to find in the course of a day. And periodically, we may find just those. But for those who are looking just for the nuggets, they will underappreciate the little flecks of gold and the little flakes that will gather up in the bottom of your pan. The little flakes that you can filter out through the course of a day are the things that generate gratitude. They're the little things that help you appreciate where you are, where you may be headed, and your moment. Sift through your day very intentionally. Be observant to the flakes, whatever nuggets you might find. Move your hands a little if you feel like it helps you. Sift through the day, phone calls, the difficult conversations, the tasks that you go through. And the most important part of all those components is the prospector themselves. You, you're out prospecting for life's gold, your gold. You're actively doing it, observantly going through your day with an intention of finding the gold moments that makes your day better and the people you're around you can share it with. Bring your fingertips together just in front of your heart, sifting through life's gold. And that story I just shared with you is basically everything I gathered from watching a few moments and putting it into my meditation from the Pale Rider movie. Use it as you can. You don't have to memorize it, but use it. Find a way to filter through your day, find the little flakes of gold in it, maybe a smiling face of a young child, or the fact that you fixed your own breakfast this morning and enjoyed it. It could be any number of things. Open your palms out into the world, stand up with some pride in yourself, and finish up a good morning's practice. All right. Thank y'all for joining me. And I'm going to build a fire. See you later.